Welcome to The Explainer. We're all about breaking down really complex topics into simple, actionable guides. And today, we are digging into a problem that quietly sabotages thousands of websites, a broken technical SEO foundation, specifically in WordPress.
So, have you ever poured your heart and soul into creating amazing content? You've got a beautifully designed WordPress site, but it's just lost on page 10 of Google? It's super frustrating, and it happens all the time. The answer, often isn't in what you can see on the page, but in the invisible signals your site is sending to search engines.
And here's the real paradox of WordPress, the very thing that makes it so great. Its incredible flexibility, its endless themes, plugins, and page builders, that's often the exact source of all this behind-the-scenes chaos.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain a little bit. In this first section, we're going to explore exactly why your website might be speaking a language that Google just can't understand.
This slide really just nails the digital tug-of-war that's happening in your site's code. Your theme adds a tag, then a plugin comes in and overwrites it, a page builder might duplicate it, and sometimes your hosting company can strip it away completely. The end result? It's like 4 different people shouting contradictory directions at Google. No wonder it's confused.
And all that confusion leads to broken metadata. As the experts at BoostifySEO put it, when you force Google to guess what your page is about, its guess is almost never going to be in your favor. Your rankings suffer because there's just no clarity.
So how do we fix this mess? Well, first we need to get back to basics and really understand the fundamental language that search engines use to read our sites. Think of it like learning how to design your site's digital book cover. And that brings us to meta tags. What are they? Well, they're basically these little snippets of code hidden in your site's HTML. They're totally invisible to a visitor on the page, but they are the very first thing a search engine reads to figure out what your content is all about. The most important one of all is the page title. This is your digital handshake. It's that clickable blue link you see in the search results. It is your first, and honestly, your best chance to tell both a user and Google what your page is about. And then right below that title, you have the meta description. This is your elevator pitch. Now, it doesn't directly influence your rankings, but a really compelling description is what convinces a person to actually click on your link instead of someone else's. And this image right here just illustrates the core issue perfectly. Your visitors, they see this beautiful, polished design on the screen. But Google sees the raw code, the meta tags, that invisible foundation holding the whole thing up. And if that foundation is cracked, the whole structure is just unstable.
You would be amazed at how easy it is to make really simple but damaging mistakes with this invisible foundation. So let's take a look at the most common errors that could be holding you back right now.
All right, let's break down 4 of the most common and, most costly meta tag errors that we see all the time.
First up, length. It's a real Goldilocks problem. If your description is too short, it just feels incomplete. If it's too long, Google just chops it off with that ... The sweet spot is somewhere between 125 and 155 characters. That's just enough detail to be compelling without getting cut off.
Next, mismatched keywords. Look at this. If your title is targeting shirts and tops, but then your description starts talking about blouses, you're sending mixed signals. And this really matters, because Google is looking for one strong focused signal. When you use different keywords, you dilute that focus. Consistency is absolutely key. Here's another classic mistake: burying the lead. In that first example, the main keyword, printed comforter, is way at the end. You gotta remember, users scan super quickly. You need to put your most important keyword as close to the beginning as you possibly can to grab their attention right away.
And finally, a passive description. The first example is just a statement of fact. It's fine. But the second one adds a simple, powerful action word. Discover. Using verbs like shop, learn, or explore speaks directly to why the person is searching and encourages that all-important click.
Okay, so now that you know what to look for, how do you actually find and fix these errors on your own site?
I know it might sound a little overwhelming, but trust me, it's not. We're going to walk through a simple 4-step technical audit to get your site clean.
Here it is, the 4-step framework. Step 1, identify the errors. You can use a free tool like Google Search Console for this. Step 2, choose one single, reliable SEO plugin to be your command center. This is so important for stopping the chaos. Step 3, systematically go through and fix the errors. And finally, Step 4, test your fixes and monitor the results to watch your rankings improve.
Now, Step 2,
Choosing that plugin is where you really take back control. Let's look at the big three. Yoast is super user-friendly, great for beginners. Rank Math is an absolute powerhouse, packing an incredible number of features into its free version. And then All-in-One SEO offers a really comprehensive toolkit for folks who want advanced control. Honestly, the most important thing isn't which one you choose, but that you choose only one to be the single source of truth for your site.
So, you've cleaned up your meta tags. Your site is now speaking clearly to Google. Awesome. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. To really, truly succeed, you have to connect these fixes to performance, and that means looking at site speed and some more advanced signals, like schema.
And you know, Francis Thomas from BoostifySEO summarizes this relationship perfectly. You need all three to work together. Site speed gets you seen in the first place. Meta tags get you clicked. And schema markup helps Google understand your content on a much deeper level, for things like those cool rich results.
But here's the catch. A poorly coded SEO plugin, even one that fixes your meta tags, can actually cripple your site. A lot of them inject slow JavaScript or create multiple messy blocks of code. This tanks your core web vitals and can end up hurting your rankings more than it helps.
The solution here is to think like a performance engineer. You want to look for a plugin that generates all this code on the server, not in the user's browser. Make sure it consolidates all your schema into one single, efficient block. And most importantly, choose a tool that was built with speed as a top priority from day one.
You see, by cleaning up your site's invisible foundation, you're actually doing a lot more than just optimizing for today's Google. You are creating structured, machine-readable data. You're preparing your content to be clearly understood and used by the next generation of AI-powered search engines, making sure your site stays visible long into the future.